Do you know that he who aims at nothing hits it every time?
Welcome to Parenting Matters Now, a source of parenting advice a few minutes at a time.
Hi, this is Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now. That is something I learned many, many years ago. Catchy little saying, but there's a lot of truth in it. I want to talk about a couple of my friends, my dear friends who are devout Christians who apply biblical principles in their parenting. I learned something from them too late to apply it in my own family. They were talking about setting goals for their children each school year. They used a passage of scripture that helped them to define 4 areas of growth for their children. And it's a very common passage that people are familiar with, and it is Luke 2:52, and it says, "And Jesus grew or increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man." Those 4 areas, they're in wisdom, their intellectual growth. And he grew in stature, his physical growth and the physical development. He grew in his relationship with God, his spiritual growth, and his relationship with man, his social growth. And each year they would take a time period, which they call their school board retreat, and would evaluate each child's growth in the past year and help to set some goals or some strategy for the next year in those 4 areas. And so in each of those areas, they may say in the spiritual, they wanted to work on the value of honesty or the value of kindness or joy or any of those internal spiritual values. It could be that they had goals for their knowledge of the scriptures or any of their sacred texts. In their physical growth, maybe they needed to learn to ride a bike. Maybe they needed to become disciplined in an exercise routine. There was physical components. There was also intellectual goals, their academic pursuits, and then their social development. They look at relationships they had that they needed to work on or relationships they wanted to expand, let them to meet certain types of people or different, expand their social circle. But that's all a picture of how we can help our children set goals for each year. And, the goals that they would set wouldn't be just their personal goals for their child. They would discuss them with their child and say, okay, to develop in this area, what kinds of things can we do? What can you get involved with to help you grow in these areas? And that's a great thing for us to do as parents, to help to aim at something. Help our children to aim at something so that each year does have intentional growth. So he who aims at nothing hits it every time. But let's aim at something positive, something productive, and help our children to begin to have that mindset of we're going to have some goals for our personal growth this year, this month, but having an approach to saying, in this life, we're going to have a growth mindset.
Subscribe to Parenting Matters Now for more advice, or go to rogersmithmd.com to search for more topics. See you next time.